Hey there, fellow empath. I am Daniel, a relationships empowerment coach and the creator of the Soulful Relationships Experience, a 4-month one on one coaching program that helps you completely get rid of, heal your relationships, and eliminate any toxic, narcissistic, codependent, and just destructive relationship dynamics that make you feel not heard, not respected, invalidated, and also helps you connect with the most empowering vision of your relationships, a vision that attracts people who support and lift you up. So in this video, my intention is to share with you, just to contemplate on the 7 signs that you will notice and that you recognize when you're dealing with a narcissist in your relationship. So if you've ever felt curious and wondering whether the guy you just started dating or the girl you just started dating or the man or woman you're being in a relationship with for years, like for 5, 10 years or more than that, is a narcissist, well, I'm pretty sure that by staying with me until the end of the video, you'll not only find the answer, but you also understand how you can take responsibility of that so that you connect with your boundaries and like heal that relationship so that you don't tolerate any more toxicity, destructive narcissism, and codependence in general. So that being the case, if this is something that interests you, let's directly begin with the topic and get into the first sign. So when you're wondering whether you're dealing with a narcissist or not, well, the first sign that you'll notice is that anytime you're presented with choices in that relationship, let's say, for example, when you're contemplating together where this relationship is going in the future, what are you going to do together? What are your visions of having children or like of having marriage, whatever it is? Whenever you're presented with a choice in that relationship, it will always feel like it's already been decided. So it will always feel like one of the options is the right one, while the other one is the wrong one. And you'll be given the choice, but inwardly it will feel like your choice doesn't matter. So this is one sign you recognize. And now it's curious why that happens. So let us try to contemplate. Well, why that happens is because the narcissists, generally how they operate is that they have this inner narcissistic core. So for them, you're just a tool in their disposal, a tool that they use to achieve their agenda, to get to the fulfillment of their agenda. And they already have an agenda of what they want from you in that relationship. So if you're just being a tool for them, can you see how it doesn't make sense that they will respect your choices and your opinion even? So that's why they will present to you a choice in which they have already come up with all the reasons why you should take the right decision and not take the wrong one. And so by taking the wrong one, you feel guilty, and that's why you won't do it. And they have already done that work in their mind. This is how they operate, because they're self-centered again, and because for them, you're just being a tool at their disposal that they use to achieve their agenda, their intention of what they want from you in that relationship. So this is the first sign you'll notice, my friend. So if it feels like that whenever you're taking choices together in that relationship, well, the chances are high that you're dealing with a narcissist. But this is not the only thing. Now let's look at the second sign. The second sign is more about gaslighting, which is something that you're probably familiar with. But here is how it works. Well, any natural negative reaction you have about a conversation you are having together on a topic that both of you have different opinions about. And so any negative reaction you have that isn't alignment with your own truth, it will instantly be dismissed or avoided. And you'll be told something like, oh, you're just being too emotional about it. Don't over dramatize. Don't take this too seriously. Why are you playing a victim now? Something like that. Something that completely invalidates your feelings and your opinion about the topic you're discussing. And again, similarly to why you're presented with choices that feel that they've already been decided on. Similarly, the reason why that happens in the second sign is again because it's like for the narcissist, your feelings doesn't really matter. It's like, why would they matter if they are only seeing you as a tool at their disposal, right? So That's why when you have a feeling that is contradictory to how they imagine you are serving their agenda, they'll just dismiss that feeling. They'll avoid talking about it. They'll invalidate it. They'll just gaslight you into believing that what you're thinking, what your opinion is wrong. It's not real. So this is a form of gaslighting, and I've shared in many in other videos how gaslighting works. I think I made a video on like some patterns. It's not, I'll attach it here. It's basically the patterns that you experience when you're having a relationship with a narcissist, the strategies they use to manipulate you. So yeah, you can check it out here. I'll put it in a card somewhere above. But yeah, this is again what happens. Your negative reactions, which is something absolutely human. Like all of us have negative reactions. But when you're having a relationship with a narcissist, they they just wouldn't care about it. They wouldn't be willing to um, put themselves in your shoes to see how you feel and why you have that opinion and validate it and have respect for it. And since they're not as kind-hearted, as loving, as compassionate, and as a decent human being as you are, and they're almost jealous about those qualities, they just won't tolerate that, right? So they'll just um, they won't validate your feelings, and this is how they operate. It's not that we are here to blame the narcissist, and I'm not sharing any of those signs, by the way, to uh, like to support this victimhood mentality that you might hold feeling if you're feeling that you're blaming the narcissist in your life. No, that's not my intention. My intention is to help you recognize those signs so that you can start the healing journey. And by the way, if you're already going through that process, and if that's something important in your life already, you can check out the free training I have, in which you understand what are the 3 phases you pass through until you're able to fully heal yourself and like fully let go and not tolerate any more destructive, narcissistic, codependent relationship dynamics, so that you can surround yourself with people who only support and lift you up. You can check out that training if you're interested in the description below. It's 100% free, and it will give you a much greater understanding of what are the 3 phases of inner work that you pass through until you get yourself to that stage. And it's something that can happen in just, by the way, 3 to 4 months. But now, if we get back to the topic, let's see what is the third sign. Now, the third sign, my friend, is that, well, in the relationship, and like more specifically, when you have conflicts, when you're not on the same page on a topic you're discussing, um, on a decision you're making, you will fear retaliation. Part of you will always feel that they'll come back for you. Like if you speak up, if you speak up your truth, if you're genuine with how you feel, you fear retaliation. And that's why the third sign is basically you fear retaliation, and that's why you give into the path of least resistance. For example, not speaking up, just doing what's expected of you because you don't want to face the consequences of speaking up, for example. And if this is something that you experience in your relationship with the person you're dating right now, or the person you have a long-term relationship with, the chances are that they are being a narcissist. Because if they were really caring about you, if they had respect for you, if they genuinely wanted the best for you, even if even if you're on a completely opposite, you have the completely opposite opinion to them about a topic you're discussing or about a conflict you're in, they'll have respect for your point of view. And so you wouldn't feel afraid of them retaliating later and having vengeance because you're not being on their page, right? You're not acting in the agenda that they have created for you. So this is another sign that you will notice. And my friend here, if speaking your truth and like sharing genuinely and transparently your boundaries and your personal needs and connecting to your gifts, if this is something new for you, you can also check out another resource I have. You can find it in the description. It's a 3 questions framework for connecting to your healthy boundaries. It's a process you can try for yourself so that you can connect to your boundaries and understand how you can speak them up clearly, transparently, with confidence and courage that they're yours, truly yours. And so yeah, you can check out this resource in the description below. Now getting to the next sign. Next sign is basically, it's the same as gaslighting. It's basically you frequently when you're not together with the person you're dating, when you're just by yourself in your own space, and in your mind you constantly find yourself questioning the reality of your situation. It's like you frequently question your reality of the situation. So you question whether your opinion about what happened before, like a conflict you had with that person, or like just a situation in which you are not on the same page about a decision you are making. And so later on, after this situation passes, you're by yourself in your own space. And in your mind, you find yourself questioning the reality of your perception about the situation you've experienced. Now, if this is something that happens with consistency over and over again, well, my friend, again, this is another sign. Because if you are dating somebody who is mature and who is transparent and who is connected to also their boundaries, needs, and gifts, and who really cares for you, they wouldn't make you consistently question the reality of your perception about a situation. Only a narcissist would do that. Because, again, it's like, no, nothing wrong, by the way, by being committed to a vision and like following that vision. But when when the narcissist doesn't have respect also for your vision and for your opinion, they will put you in a position in which they will gaslight you to question the reality of your perception when it doesn't fit their agenda. It makes sense, right? So this is another sign you experience when you're dating a narcissist. And now the next one, the fifth one, is basically you'll find that everything feels conditional. Like anytime you're making a decision of doing something together, anytime you're planning for the future, anytime you're looking at potentials of how your lives would unfold together, and you're just contemplating, you're just looking at potential, well, everything inside in similar dynamics will feel conditional. It will follow the rules of, if we do that, then this will happen. If we don't do that, then this won't happen. If we were to decide on that opportunity, then that would happen. So the narcissist mind is always conditional. Like there is always an if then equation on making choices together. And by the way, for this, like there is nothing wrong in this way of thinking. I'm not saying this sign. I'm not sharing this sign so that you think that there is something wrong in this way of thinking. No, because when it's a conscious choice, like when you're presented with a situations like with a like potential situation that you want to experience together in your relationship, and you're presented with a choice of if then that feels good, that feels in a way in which your freedom of choice is respected, you don't feel afraid, then this is like a conscious, transparent way of communicating how you envision something that you will do together. So don't mistake that. But don't mistake that with narcissism. But when you're presented, like when making choices together, everything feels conditional, because you fear that part of you might be manipulated. This is when you're dealing with a narcissist. So, and that's why I'm saying in this sign, specifically in this fifth sign, that when you're having a relationship with a narcissist, this will happen consistently on a daily basis. Like all the choices you are presented with, and this is again similar to the first sign, all the choices you're presented with, they will have a consequences that wouldn't be in your best interest. Because when you're just speaking with somebody who is connected to their needs, boundaries, and gifts, and they present you with such a choice, they just let you know the consequences of making that choice for them. You wouldn't feel fear, you wouldn't feel guilty, right? So this is just a sign that you're dating somebody who is really mature in their emotional life and who is just intelligent in the way they present choices. But when the choice you're presented with feels, for you, it feels, again, you are afraid of retaliation, you fear that you're being manipulated, this is a sign when you're dealing with a narcissist. Because again, the difference between somebody who is being mature in the way they communicate the consequences of either making one choice or another, And the difference between somebody who is being narcissist and who is just being conditional when they're making when you're making choices together is that the mature and emotionally intelligent man or woman, when you're communicating in such a way with them, you wouldn't feel any fear of retaliation. You wouldn't feel fear that you're being manipulated, and you know inwardly that your choice is being respected. While on the other hand, when you're dealing with a narcissist, when they say something, when they are presenting a choice that feels conditional, if that, if this, then that, then you feel fear on the inside, right? So you feel um, you wouldn't feel as good on the inside. So it's like, and this happens consistently. It feels like they're always guiding you in a certain direction that you haven't agreed on. So it's almost as if they made the choice for you without really caring about your needs. This is again the difference. It's really subtle, and maybe I'll make another video explaining it in depth. But yeah, this is the difference between communicating with a narcissist who just has conditional communication and communicating with just somebody who is mature and emotionally intelligent, who is being transparent in his communication. Now, going next to the sixth sign, you might notice the sixth sign is basically that your words, you will find that your words are frequently twisted out of context and used against you. Now, again, because anything that you share with the narcissist, they don't really care about your past. They don't really care about your story. They don't really care about what you've been going through in your life. And when they don't care about it, all the information that you have feeded them, that you have given them, they'll use it against you. And they'll like frame it, they'll twist it out of context to always prove themselves that they're being right and you're being wrong. To always prove basically their premise, what they believe to be true. So yeah, it's like when you find consistently that what you share with the narcissist, he's with the person next to you. When you find that he's consistently using that, like taking that information but twisting it to prove his own point of view, and twisting it out of context and like using it against you to prove that he's right, it's another huge sign, my friend. It's another huge sign you're dating a narcissist, or like you're having a relationship with one. It doesn't have to be dating, by the way. It can be even it can even be your mother or father. For example, and I share that story in another video of how you can change your past. By the way, you can check it out here if you want. It's like I shared a story of how my relationship went with my narcissistic father when I was just growing up with him. So yeah, this is another sign you'll notice, that your words are frequently twisted out of context and used against you. Now, if you recognize some of those signs already, like the chances are high, really high, that you're dating somebody like that. And now, the last sign. The last sign is basically that they'll show off as being charming and friendly. They will appear as being charming and friendly as long as you're doing what they want. And when their needs are not met, when their needs are not met, well, they'll start projecting. This is how the narcissist operates again. When you're doing everything in their agenda, you're serving their agenda, they'll appear as really charming, friendly, even kind. But they'll manipulate that. It wouldn't be coming from the inside. It wouldn't be like a genuine virtuous quality that they have within their personality. No, they'll just show off these qualities, being charming, friendly, and kind, for status. This is what narcissists do, because they are afraid on the inside, like there is a hole on the inside of them, which they're trying to fill with the attention of others, and they're using others as tools to fulfill their agenda. And so they'll try to appear as much charming and as much friendly as they can in different in their social circles, and maybe around your friends even, because this way they will prove to themselves that they're a good person. Genuinely, they're afraid that they're not, because so like everybody has moral ultimately, but the narcissist is just running away from that moral. He's constantly running away, actually, and sometimes it's consciously, some of the times it's unconsciously, but they're not being moralistic. So, And since they don't listen to their moral, they always need let's say, they always need to manipulate the perception of other people around them to be in the good light, for them to believe that they're a good person, because inwardly they fear that they are not, because everybody has moral, but they're just suppressing all their moral. And when again, when you're doing something that, when their needs are not met and you're doing something contradictory to their agenda, they'll start projecting instantly. They'll start projecting, defending themselves. They'll start gaslighting you into believing that your perception is just being wrong, you're taking it too seriously, you're over dramatizing. They'll project their inner fears and wounds on you because they're not willing to take responsibility to fill that hole inside of them by themselves. And they want you to change because by changing, they'll feel whole on the inside, or at least that's the illusion they believe. And this is again how it works, my friend. So if you see that the person you're having a relationship with is charming and friendly, as long as you're doing what they want, but when their needs are not met, they start projecting, it's a huge sign that you're having something to do with a narcissist. And now these are all the signs, my friend. So I want you now, you've reached the end of the video, and so you've most likely recognized yourself and your relationship dynamic in some of those signs. So I would love to see what is your situation. So I encourage you to comment down below how many of those signs have you recognized in the relationship that's currently a situation for you in your life. Because by letting me know, like, you just affirm that for yourself, and then start taking responsibility for healing that relationship. Because ultimately, as I told you in the beginning, my friend, it's like, we are not here to blame the narcissist. Actually, and I can say that for myself, genuinely, that attracting narcissistic relationship has been the biggest gift in my life. Because I was able to start healing the wound of abandonment, connect to myself, see how illusory sometimes my empathy is, and how I'm just being empathetic to feel safe and not because I really care about others. So having relationship with a narcissist can really be a huge gift. But it's not like that when we are blaming them and we are positioning ourselves as being the victim. No, it's like you are having your own beliefs on the inside of you that are attracting similar kind of relationship dynamics. And now, if you're curious about investigating those beliefs, I would highly suggest you check out this video in which you understand what is the ugly truth behind attracting narcissists. It's one single belief that most of us don't take responsibility of. And that's why we are perpetuating the same relationship dynamics over and over and over and over again. But if you're tired, check out this video, and I'm sure you'll get much more closer to understanding why you're in such a situation in your life. And that being the case, my friend, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Now, if you're new to the Soulful Relationships channel and you like this content, you find it valuable, subscribe to it. Also, push the bell notifications to get new notifications of every single video, because my intention with this channel is to help you surround yourself by only conscious, uplifting, and meaningful relationships, to surround yourself with people who genuinely support and lift you up. So if this is a vision you have, subscribe to the channel, and all the content I produce will help you get